For those of us who have spent any appreciable amount of time in the conspiratorium, there has been a subject that is without peer in terms of just eliciting and inspiring more excitement than you can imagine. And that is directed or direct energy weapons, DEW. Now, for reasons that should be readily apparent to you, I can't go into a lot of the, dare I say, the more popular historical applications of such. But recently, Emmy award-winning investigative reporter and journalist Catherine Herridge has ignited a veritable firestorm of controversy with her latest bombshell interview, which shouldn't be much of a bombshell to you or me, because we've been talking about this forever, but it reveals a disturbing series of allegations of a government cover-up. I know, hard to believe, but it's true. Speaking with a former CIA officer who has chosen to come forward as a whistleblower, Herridge delved and plumbed the depths of claims that the Biden administration has concealed injuries caused by directed energy weapons, or DEW. These are high-tech devices reportedly used by foreign adversaries to harm U.S. intel personnel. You might have heard about this. Remember this Havana flu and this and that, and they never really got to the bottom of it. Could it be this? Well, we're trying to get to the bottom of this. In the interview, Herridge confronts the whistleblower with pointed questions that elicit chilling admissions. You were attacked? She asks. The officer replies without hesitation, oh yes. Pressing further, Herridge clarifies, you were attacked by an energy weapon? And the whistleblower confirms, yes, a directed energy weapon. And Herridge later underscores the gravity and the importance and the criticality of the revelation, stating, quote, the intelligence community has attempted to thwart congressional investigative efforts to uncover the truth at every turn. That sounds like a government cover-up. And the whistleblower, as you can imagine, concurs wholeheartedly, describing the situation as both a personal and a national crisis. It's a cover-up, she says, and it's terrifying. And it should be terrifying for all Americans. Now, in this piece, the whistleblower explains her decision to break her silence now, citing ongoing retaliation and the broader implications for the nation. Quote, the CIA is betraying, and not just betraying, but making friends of mine and my life a living hell. I want them to stop denying what is happening, stop denying what is happening to us, so we can gather the information needed to prevent this from happening to more people. Now, when Herridge asks whether a potential Trump or Vance administration would enact meaningful change, the whistleblower hesitates before cautiously expressing hope. Quote, I really hope so, she says. And furthermore, she says, the phrase cleaning up the swamp is thrown around a lot in D.C., but at a bare minimum, I do not believe those involved in the earlier report should be allowed to touch this. Now, directed energy weapons for the unenlightened, as you know, such as high-energy lasers, for example, among others, represent a rapidly advancing yet controversial technology. These devices use electromagnetic energy to disable or to destroy targets at the speed of light. Now, advocates highlight their potential for precision and cost effectiveness. That's important, as they require no ammunition and offer nearly unlimited firing capacity. Now, however, critics, as you can imagine, warn of their limited range, reduced efficacy in adverse weather, and unclear long-term health effects. DEWs it is said, can produce effects ranging from non-lethal deterrence to devastating destruction. And I'll leave it at that. For instance, high-energy lasers are capable of melting steel with concentrated beams. And this, by the way, is called from government websites and the like. High-power microwave systems can disable electronics across a wide area. Yet the implications of using these weapons, particularly against human targets, remain ethically and medically fraught. And that would never happen, would it? No. In recent years, multiple nations, including the U.S., have accelerated their research and deployment of DEWs, largely for counter-drone missions. Sound familiar? However, the whistleblower's testimony that we speak of right now adds a harrowing human dimension to this technological race. She describes specifically career-ending injuries, crippling cognitive and neurological symptoms, and financial devastation as a result of what she believes to be deliberate attacks by foreign adversaries. Now, the Department of Defense has acknowledged the reality of such injuries in a leaked letter stating, "Your experiences are real." Still, many victims are reporting being gaslighted, or gaslit, I guess, by government agencies, denied proper medical care, and even stripped of security clearances. That's their livelihood. And the whistleblower highlights, in this particular case, the plight of female officers whose injuries have been doubted or dismissed, further compounding their trauma. As Ms. Herridge reports, this raises urgent questions about accountability, transparency, and the future of warfare. Are policymakers prepared to address the ethical and health considerations surrounding DEWs? Are they going to even talk about it more? Especially in view of how they didn't say anything about drones, and drones are right in front of us. Imagine them getting to the bottom of this. Can the U.S. effectively safeguard its personnel while bridging the gap between research and deployment of these powerful yet extremely precarious weapons? Most critically, will victims of these attacks ever receive the recognition and the remuneration and the compensation that they deserve? Herridge, in her investigation, lays bare this dangerous and unsettling intersection of advanced technology, geopolitics, and the human cost. For the whistleblower, and let us not become immune to this term, for the whistleblower, somebody who is brave in coming forward, and not talking about not just fraud, not a qui tam case, but something more important. But for the whistleblower, the fight is far from over. The whistleblower in this case says, it's not just about me, it's about every American who should be protected, not betrayed by their government. What are we going to do about this, my friends? What are we going to do? What do you think we should do? What should the government do? What do you think? I think you and I know what needs to be done. And thankfully, with this new administration, thankfully, with a Trump, Musk, Doge, Ramaswamy, whatever you want to call it, we'll get to the bottom and find out specifically what was done and what can be done to make these matters right. Subscribe to my channel, my friends. I would be so honored. And comment as you see fit.